Congressman, GOP senators voting yesterday to pass this $1.7 trillion spending bill. 18 Republicans voted with Democrats. What happens today? Are we headed toward a government shutdown or a continuing resolution? Take us through the next several hours.
No, they'll bring it over to the House and we'll vote on it, and it'll pass, I suspect. I heard today that they already had over 200 people that are going to vote by proxy, if you can imagine that. And that was something Pelosi put in just for COVID and has nothing to do with COVID. But yeah, it'll pass, and there's over 3,213 projects that Democrats have put in this bill. It's 10% more than we spent last year. There's $47 billion more for Ukraine. We put $100 billion in there already. It works out to about $200 million per congressional district. If you can imagine what you could do with $200 million in your district.
Yeah.
We're not concerned about our border security. We're not going to spend anything on it, but we'll spend $410 million for some Middle Eastern countries so they can have border security. We're putting $32.5 million into the United Nations Family Planning Fund, and they participated in the Chinese population control program. And this thing is just pathetic. And if you think there's not enough wokeness in it, there's a $1.2 million for the Pride Centers in San Diego. That's a lot of pride. $3 million for the LGBTQ Museum in New York City. It's just over the top.
Well,
and it's ridiculous.
And you bring up that $45 billion for Ukraine. Look, I don't think anyone would have a problem with continuing to support Ukraine if there were, how about $1 billion for our own border security? The language in the bill as it is right now, quote, the bill expressly prohibits the Border Patrol funding from being used to improve border security. How can you explain that given what's happening at our southern border and the fact that Title 42 could be rolled back as early as next Tuesday?
You can't explain it at all. It's a complete capitulation to anarchy is all it is. And these folks have no concern over our country, over where we're headed. They have destruction in mind. They want to tear this whole country down to this very, very core and then try to rebuild it up into their liberal woke image. And that's exactly what we're doing. But we only have ourselves to blame. 20 million allegedly 20 million evangelical Christians stayed home. Over 2 million sportsmen stayed home and didn't vote. And this is what we get.
Yeah.
So we better get ready for more of this because this is where we're headed.
All right, 20 seconds. Why not just try to get a continuing resolution done? You take control. Your party takes control of the House in 11 days. Why not do that?
Because the Senate has no guts, basically. They are a rudderless ship right now. They should have allowed us to do that. We should have done that. We should pass something that will get us into the new year. Instead, we're going to have to live under Pelosi's reign for probably another year into Republican control. So literally half of the first term almost will be under her control, basically, with all these woke programs. And hopefully we'll have the guts to go back and defund some of this stuff after it's put in.
Yeah. You said that 200 members have already gone home and they'll vote by proxy. That's accurate? Wow. Well, listen, safe travels to you. Have a Merry Christmas with your family. We'll be watching Capitol Hill today. Congressman Tim Burchett, thank you.
Thanks, brother. Merry Christmas.
You too.